Are you freaking kidding me? Like, are you serious? Try and convince me your diet's better than mine. We'll see what happens.
What's going on, guys? My name is Ethan. Thanks for clicking on the video today. It's been a while since I reviewed a recipe by Remington James. I don't even remember the last one that I did review, but today we are trying two recipes, two versions of the same recipe, if you will. We're gonna be trying cocoa pebble donuts and we're gonna be trying fruity pebble donuts. When I started the anabolic diet, aside from French toast, my biggest gravitation towards the diet was the donuts that kept popping up on my feed. And it sucks because I wish I made them a lot more. I guess I just get kind of lazy, but today we're gonna be trying two new ones and maybe I'll have some incentive to make them in the future. Since I'm trying both of the donuts, people say they're very similar recipes. I wanna see just how distinguishable each one is from the other. One's chocolate, one's vanilla. They're gonna be very different. I'm gonna tell you what I think of them and I'm gonna tell you which one I think is better. Before we get started, I just wanna say we hit a huge milestone in my last video. We hit 200 subscribers. That blows my mind. Look, 200 subscribers isn't a ton on YouTube when you look at a Remington James who has over 500,000. And obviously I have a long way to go, but the progress has been crazy. The support has been even crazier. And I intend to keep cranking videos out like this for as long as possible. I love it, and I can't wait to get at it even more. So guys, before we get started, be sure to drop a like down below, hit the subscribe button, ring the bell to be notified when I drop more stuff like this, and leave a comment if you have a suggestion for a video in the future. That's a tongue twister, man. You'd think after saying that in a lot of videos, I get used to it. It's hard. It's actually difficult. So guys, I've rambled enough. Let's break down everything we're gonna need to make this recipe happen today. You are going to need a chocolate whey protein powder, vanilla whey protein powder, regular ordinary flour, coconut flour, baking cocoa, baking soda, plain non-fat Greek yogurt. You're gonna need an artificial sweetener. I'm gonna be using stevia for this recipe. You're gonna need your food scale, 2 bowls to mix. You are going to need a donut making pan. I went to a few stores and I couldn't find one, but I managed to find a butt cake pan, so that should do the trick, right? And of course, your cereals. Do not eat this stuff straight. It's strictly meant for topping. It's meant for flavor. You're not gonna be pouring bowls of this stuff. I hope this is a recipe that I'm gonna make very frequently. I hope I'm gonna enjoy it because you gotta buy all this cereal and that's a very tempting thing to have sitting around. I don't want these boxes here because I'm just gonna look at it and my mouth is gonna water a little bit. So I hope I enjoy these recipes so I can get the proper usage out of these as opposed to binging. So we'll see what happens. I know they got those little cereal cups. I went to 4 different stores today, couldn't find one. All right guys, so without further ado, let's start mixing our ingredients. First thing you guys wanna do is put in 30 grams of all-purpose flour. Now you want 14 grams of coconut flour. Now you're gonna wanna throw in 46 grams of a chocolate whey protein. I mean, you can use any whey protein you want. It's gonna give you different flavors and obviously it really comes down to preference. Now, I'm trying to make this recipe the exact way that he did, but obviously at the end of the day, it really comes down to personal preference. So if you guys don't have chocolate or you don't have vanilla, you can use nutter butter or peanut butter, whatever protein you got. It really doesn't matter. It comes down to what you like. Now you wanna throw in 170 grams of your plain, non-fat Greek yogurt. My suggestion to you guys is before you open it up, shake it around a little bit because whenever I open a new one, there's always this like water or liquid that just settles on top. And when I try to stir it with a spoon, it splashes all over the counter. I got it on my phone last time. It's just a headache that you can avoid. So that's my suggestion. I do it. 170 grams going in. Now you're gonna wanna throw in 10 grams of your 0-calorie sweetener, 3 grams of your baking powder. This might be the first time I'm getting every measurement exact. Usually if it calls for 170 grams of something, I might end up putting in like 181 by accident because it plops in. This is the first time I'm actually getting everything exact. So we're growing, we're evolving. Last but not least, you're gonna need 5 grams of baking cocoa. Oh, so close. Put in 6. Take all your ingredients and stir it up. Make sure you're real thorough so you don't have like a big clump of powder sitting in there. You want to mix it really thoroughly. I don't have a whisk. I don't have a mixer. I'm obviously not going to put it in a blender because it's too thick.
So I'm just gonna stir it with a fork for about a minute or two and break everything down. Make sure you're real thorough with it. You should end up with something like this. We're gonna set this aside in the fridge and work on mixing the next batch of donuts. Now putting these two recipes together, they're very similar, so a lot of the steps are gonna be the same. Start it off the same way. Zero your scale, 30 grams of white flour. Once again, 14 grams of coconut flour. Now you want to throw in 46 grams of protein as well. This time I'm going with vanilla. Come on. Come on. There we go. Another 170 grams of plain Greek yogurt. Plain non-fat Greek yogurt. 1 gram away. 4 grams above. Sweet. Get the shot out of there. 169. 170. Nothing came off the spoon. Okay, well it's 170 now. Maybe I need a new food scale. 10 grams of your artificial sweetener. And finally, 3 grams of baking powder. Once again, stir it all up. I think the last time I made anabolic donuts was when I did my David Goggins challenge, the 4x4x48 thing. That was hell. That sucked. David Goggins is a champ, dude. Have you seen the shit that David Goggins does? He runs like 800 miles a day or something. If you guys don't know who David Goggins is, I highly suggest you at least check the guy out, research him a little bit, because nothing is gonna pump you up more. Nothing is gonna motivate you more than this guy's story. He's the sharpest dude mentally I've ever seen. He's the definition of badass. Every time I listen to David Goggins, my PR goes up 30 pounds. This one seems like it's mixing a little bit easier. It's probably because there's less powder in it. There's no cocoa. This is what you should end up with. Let's transfer all of our batter into the pan. So like I mentioned, I have this little mini butt cake pan. Remington has this donut pan that's actually a little bit shallower, so he's allowed to make 5 donuts per batch. What I'm gonna be doing, because I don't have that at my disposal, I am gonna be making 3 donuts as opposed to 5, and they're just gonna be slightly larger. Grab yourself some nonstick and just hit each one very lightly. Take your chocolate batter and distribute it evenly in 3 compartments. Had to call in some reinforcements. Now take your other bowl, put them in the other 3. Make sure you dance your spoon around a little bit in there, because that'll make sure there's no crevices, no little air bubbles. So we got 3 decent sized vanilla donuts and 3 decent sized chocolate donuts. Now grab your donuts and bring them over to the oven. It should be preheated to 350 degrees. Oh, that's hot. Okay. Throw these in. Oh my God. Get in there. The recipe calls to put the donuts in for about 6 to 8 minutes. Because I'm making my donuts a little bit bigger, I'm gonna put them in for about 8 minutes and see how that does. And if it doesn't cook well enough, I'll put them in for another 2 to 3. Now it's time we make the icing for each donut. So first thing you wanna do is put in 16 grams of chocolate whey protein. 5 calories of your 0-calorie sweetener. 5 calories? 5 grams of your 0-calorie sweetener, my apologies. 56 grams of your fat-free cream cheese. Oh, that's perfect. Lastly, you want 5 grams of sugar-free Hershey syrup. Okay, that was a little overboard, but you know what? That's close enough. Now just mix thoroughly. You know what? In the video he said to let it get to room temp, and I ignored that step. So I'm paying for it. Make sure you follow the directions pretty thoroughly. It could get a little harder than it should be. So I'm just gonna work this for a little while and, cross my fingers. I think we're finally getting somewhere. Okay, maybe not. There we go, we're moving. That's our icing. Last step for the chocolate donuts. Pour 27 grams of your Cocoa Puffs. Or Cocoa Pebbles, what are these? Cocoa Pebbles, sorry. Almost there. Nice. That's everything you're gonna need for the Cocoa Pebble donuts. Let's get everything we need for the Fruity Pebble donuts. Grab another bowl. Now you want another 56 grams of fat-free cream cheese. Perfect. 5 grams of stevia and 16 grams of a vanilla whey protein. Oh, we gotta mix this now, don't we? Okay, well, here goes nothing. All right, I'll see you guys in a half hour once I mix this. Okay, I grew a beard and got married in the time it took me to mix this, but we're finally done. Grab another bowl. We're gonna be washing some dishes today, guys. 27 grams of Fruity Pebbles. Oh, 1 more gram, baby. Gotta get every bang for your buck. So I'm noticing the icing is really thick, and if I try to stir my donuts around in here, it's probably gonna rip them apart, and then I'm probably gonna rip my hair out. So I'm gonna pop each of these icings in the microwave for no more than 10 seconds because I want it to be a little thinner so it doesn't break the donuts. Donuts sound done. Look at those, baby. I gotta say, man, I'm real pleased with that. These look great. These turned out pretty freaking awesome. So I ended up cooking mine for about an extra 3 minutes, and that actually gave these the perfect consistency. They're not too soft, they're not too hard, but like I said, they're a little bigger, so it requires a couple more minutes, but they turned out mint. Now we gotta take the donuts and transfer them onto a plate. I'm afraid I'm gonna rip them apart, so I'm gonna grab a knife and just scoop from beneath and see if I can get them. Oh, yes. Yes! Come on. Come on. Don't fight me. All right, how the chocolate ones are. Yes! This is big stuff, man. We're doing big things right now. Big things. Look at that. Yeah. Yeah, I think we're on the right track. So after putting it in the microwave, the icing thinned out a little bit. I think it's at the perfect consistency for us to actually start dipping the donuts and dressing them. Let's start with the chocolate donut. Oh, look at that, man. Let's go. Freaking boss recipe right here. Okay, time for the vanilla. I gotta say, I'm real impressed with how they're holding together. I'm glad they're not ripping apart. I'm glad they're not making a mess. Oh my God. Are you freaking kidding me? Like, are you serious? Try and convince me your diet's better than mine. We'll see what happens. 6 giant Fruity Pebble and Cocoa Pebble donuts, courtesy of Remington James. I followed every instruction step by step to make sure I got these exactly the way that he put in his video. This is gonna be the most foolproof taste test you are going to see. You guys saw it in my cheat meal video. I lose it over donuts. I love them. I love them, and I don't make them enough. I make a lot of anabolic recipes, but for some reason, I get lazy with donuts. I feel like it takes a little bit more effort. But this is well worth it to me. I get this as 2 meals, so I'm probably only gonna have 1 of each and then save these for later. But I'm gonna try the chocolate donut first, I'm gonna try the Fruity Pebble donut afterwards, and then I'm gonna give you my verdict on both. I'll give you all my critiques, all my pros, my cons, give you my thoughts. So, chocolate donut, cheers. Oh man. I don't know if you guys can see that too clearly, but it's not too dry on the inside. It's not too moist on the inside. It's not like spongy or anything like that. Now, I know my cooking time wasn't exactly the way Remington did. Like I said, they're a little bigger, so I had to compensate, but they turned out perfect. See, one of my questions going into this is I was wondering why he wasn't using any egg whites, why he wasn't gonna use any canned pumpkin. Because to me, adding egg whites gives you a lot of protein, and it's something that goes into most baked goods. And with the canned pumpkin, you can put a lot in and not add a lot of additional calories, but really jack up the volume. I'm glad he didn't go that route with this recipe, because if you put anything like a pumpkin filler inside of this, I feel like it would dull the flavor a little too much. Now, it wouldn't be noticeably pumpkin flavored, obviously, but you wouldn't get as much chocolate, you wouldn't get as much of the icing. And I really like the route he went with the icing. It's simple, but it's delicious. Honestly, it adds the moisture that the donut needs. If you were to do it without the icing or without the Fruity Pebbles, and you just had a straight donut, it would probably look a little bit better for your macros, but you wouldn't enjoy it nearly as much. But for now, I'm real pleased with this, so I'm gonna hop over to the Fruity Pebble donut. I gotta be honest, I'm more excited for this one, so cheers again. Okay, that's so much better. That's so much better. This right here, dude, is a perfect 10. I'm probably gonna make this tomorrow, and I'm probably gonna make it a couple days afterwards. I might meal prep these. I might just have them for the week. They're delicious. If you guys had x-ray vision, and you can see inside of my brain, you would just see a bunch of flashing lights and colors, dude. Every dopamine receptor in there is just firing on all cylinders. You know what? This is a great way to be reintroduced to Remington's recipes, and a great way to reintroduce myself to doing an actual review video. So I'm gonna bring back the home. I know you're ready for this. Home. How? Oh. Nah, I'm just kidding. I gotta chew more. I'm eating too fast. Oh gosh. Okay. I tried the chocolate donuts first, and I said they weren't dry until I tried the Fruity Pebble donuts. Now I think the chocolate donuts are kind of dry. I'm not mad at it though, because the flavor itself is on point. Okay, yeah, the chocolate donuts are really dry. But in Remington's defense, I was eating pretty fast. I wasn't chewing as thoroughly as I should have been. But yeah, the chocolate donuts, I guess my real critique with it is they are pretty dry. My suggestion would be next time you make them, or if you push a recipe like this or similar to this, I'd add a little bit of almond milk. I'd add a little bit of something to loosen it up, add a little bit of moisture. Oh gosh. Oh boy. With the chocolate donuts, my final grade is gonna be a 7.5 out of 10. My real big problem with it is the more I ate them, the drier it got. Don't get me wrong, these aren't overcooked. It's not like I'm biting into sponge or like a brick or something. It just sucks a lot of moisture out of your mouth, and like I said earlier, I was eating these pretty fast, so if I slowed down, I'm sure it wouldn't be as big of a problem. I have no complaints with the Fruity Pebble donuts. None. I am not exaggerating at all. I'm not trying to, put on a show. The truth is, the Fruity Pebble donuts are a 10 out of 10. They cooked perfect. There's a great amount of moisture in them. You know what? That's kind of weird. These donuts have pretty much exactly the same ingredients, but the Fruity Pebble donuts seem like they have a lot more moisture in them. I cooked them at the same time, at the same temp, and used the same ingredients. The only difference is the whey protein powder, and they're both wheys. I didn't use a casein for one of them. They're different brands, but I feel like that wouldn't be too significant. But the Fruity Pebble donuts turned out a lot more moisture. You can eat them a little faster like I tend to do, and you won't choke. I give them a 10 out of 10. I give the chocolate donuts a 7.5 out of 10. But guys, as always, it comes down to personal preference. So I might have a better taste for the Fruity Pebble ones, but you guys might crave the chocolate donuts. I still love them. They're great. I'm not at all shitting on them. It's simply just, it's a little dry. I followed it step by step by step. They're a little dry. As for these, they're not, which I'm still trying to wrap my head around. I put the same stuff in each of them. Let's break down the calories and macros for each recipe we got in front of us. For the Fruity Pebble donuts, we're looking at 645 calories, 5 grams of fat, 76 grams of protein, and 74 grams of carbs. I got an air bubble in my throat. As for the chocolate donuts, we're looking at 682 calories, 6 grams of fat, 77 grams of protein, and 80 grams of carbs. Now, I didn't use all the icing and all of the cereal toppings, so maybe the macros dip down a little bit more than stated in this video, but that's roughly ballparking where you're gonna end up if you follow it the way he did. Now, technically, I made 2 full servings. I had 2 donuts. There's 4 left. I can eat 1 more. So, bet your ass, dude. Yeah, this is perfect. This is perfect. I don't have any problems with this. One delicious cross-section for your viewing pleasure and my eating pleasure. How? I don't have any problems with the Fruity Pebble donuts. I think those are perfect. I think you guys 100% need to try that recipe. As for the chocolate donuts, my only complaint is they're a little more dry than the other ones. I still don't know why, but they're a little more dry. If you eat it kind of fast, like I do, then you're probably gonna choke. It's like the cinnamon challenge a little bit. So you gotta have some water on deck. I always got my Thug Jug. I've had it since my first video. If you guys drink a gallon of water, it's the best thing you could be doing. I think Rem does it in his videos too, because the guy knows what's up. So I'm about to finish my 3rd donut out of the 6, which equates to about 1 serving, and I'm already pretty full. So in terms of satiation, this passes the test. In terms of taste, it passes the test. This is a recipe that I don't suggest you eat every single day, just because it has all the cereal and candy topping on top. Now, of course, it's calories in, calories out, but I'm an advocate that you should really steer away from sugar when you can. So maybe once or twice a week I make this recipe. The Fruity Pebble one. The Fruity Pebble one, absolutely. Oh my God. This is what we got left. I'm gonna put that aside for later. Big shout out to Remington James for coming up with another recipe that we can all enjoy whenever the hell we want. Like I said, I recommend a couple times a week, but whenever we want. Stay lean, stay shredded, and stay on a diet that we're not gonna steer off of, because I mean, me personally, I really like chicken, rice, vegetables. I enjoy them. They're not burdensome to me to eat. But if I had to pick between chicken and that, what do you think I'm gonna pick? I can't wait to review more of his stuff in the future. Got a bunch of videos like this coming out in the future, as well as some of my own recipes. Guys, if you haven't already, please drop a like down below. Hit the subscribe button, ring the bell to be notified when I drop more stuff like this. And as always, man, I'm out of here. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. I had fun with this recipe and it was delicious. Be sure to tune in next time. You guys take care of yourselves. Peace.